So just to say, if people are wanting to have a more private conversation, you can also call me. Just call me, like you call your friends, and then for a short time, just like that. There's no charge of that. And if I'm at home and I can take the phone, I do. When it's not a good time, I will say so. Please don't hesitate. You can just call me. If you want to speak with me some longer, you have on my website. There's a one-to-one page, and there's a charge for the. And if you can't pay that, you can't afford that, then please say. Then we will look at it and see what you can afford. So it's like that. Okay. So this is a talking about non-duality. Non-duality. What a different word, difficult word. Long time ago, I didn't even know what it was. And it doesn't matter if you know what's non-duality. Most people maybe don't know what's non-duality. It's only saying it's not two. And then what's saying about the story is always two. When there's a story, it's about right and wrong, good and bad, like before and after. So there's time, there's distance, and there's above and underneath and inside and outside and all that. So there's always two things, or maybe more. And then there's this meeting. Oh, wow, there are a lot of people. And then there's this meeting, and then they're saying, no, there's only one. And we are not used to that. We are used to thinking two, like me and the world, me another person. So already that's two. But the strange thing is, when there's two, there's also a feeling of there's something not right. There's something missing. It's not really there. It's not enough. There's not being satisfied. All that. I'm not good enough. So when that feeling is there underneath then it can be subtle or stronger. Then there's a looking to try looking for better and trying to make it right. But when there's I am here and there's two. This I'm here and I'm in the world and living in my life and trying to make it work. Then there's also I'm real. This body is real. Everything what's happening inside, like feelings, thoughts, are also mine. And that's also going on about the world is real and solid. So everything is solid, what's happening to me. So I have to deal with circumstances who are real and all that. So when there's some dissatisfaction or feeling this is not right, there's trying to make it right in the story, because that's the only thing you know. That's very obvious, that's real. So there's always being busy in the story with trying to find a partner, maybe, or work, or enough money, or all things that seems to be not right yet. And when everything, maybe there's enough money and everything is there, there can be still a dissatisfaction and thinking like, oh, looking for something else, but you don't know what it is. Or maybe there's more sensitive things and feeling like it's not about money or power or something like that. It should be something else. And then maybe there's coming to these meetings because that's talking about another possibility. It's another possibility and it's not in the story. And that's strange because normally we always only are busy in things that happen to me or circumstances or what we see around us, or maybe with yourself, with what's being felt and how you are and what are the patterns and all that. And then this is completely another possibility, has nothing to do with the story. And that's strange because we're not used to that. And when they're saying there's no one, a lot of times there's also, when there's no one, it's assuming that in the body there will be no one, and that can also be reached in a certain way. So we can focus on what can we do, what can I do about that. So trying to understand is a way that a lot of people use. clarity can be something that you use, trying to feel more free. So there's always, also in these meetings, there's trying to reach that thing that you think that would be the end, like know me, trying to find that, or trying to reach, or trying to do something about it, or imagine, or it never works. It's always only about clarity. There can be a clarity or there can be an understanding, but that's not really what I'm talking about. It's life is very simple. It's a glass of water. What is there to understand? There's nothing to understand. When I'm talking about there's no one, it's not that Rose has no me anymore. There was already no me. There never was something inside of me, or someone who decides and have a free will or choice. Oh, there's a lot of noise. Can we do that something about that? John? John. Okay. And then, so when there's no choice and when there's no free will, that's weird, because that seems to be everywhere. It's like in a very subtle way. When there's a clarity, there's no one. And there can be in a subtle way, there's trying to change what's going on. Saying, for example, oh, but there's something happening, a feeling, and they're saying, yeah, that's what it is. But then it's making it into something else, trying to deal with what's going on. When there's no one, and when everything is lost, trying that whole dream of feeling that I'm responsible and I have a free will and choice, when that's lost, there's also no escape. So there's no escape of whatever is happening. When there's a feeling, then that feeling is it. There's not coming up something, some thoughts about how to change and what can I do, what did happen and all that. That's lost. It doesn't happen. But it's not lost for Rose, because that seems to be in the story like that. And when there's talking in the story, it's a bit confusing, but some questions are about Rose and how do you have thoughts like this and all that, and there can be answers answering that. And in the same time, there's no Rose. The whole thing, like there's a body and that's living her life, his life. It doesn't exist. That's the misunderstanding, but it's not only in the mind. It's so embodied, so many beliefs and concepts about how the body is real and how everything is going. And when there's talk about this, there's no one. Then there's also no Rose. There can be a face, there can be talking, but there's only that face, a sound, without any meaning. Life doesn't have any meaning. So there's no one. Nothing, nothing is real, nothing exists. So there's also no continuation. So talking when there's no time, there's also no continuation. And when I'm saying Rose doesn't exist, that can be a little bit or more like frightening, because then there's something saying about you thinking, I'm here, I'm solid, and I want to get free or feel free about everything, or no, not having problems anymore. So that it's this is not, in that sense, there's no way to imagine what's it about. And when there's really no one, there's nothing going on. There's everything is singular. So there's hand, table, sitting, a wall, walling, sound. It's only that. There's no continuation. There's no relation between things. It's that. So there's also no meaning in anything. It's what it is. And also, and that's in a way where we're looking for, when that whole idea about I have to deal with life and how can I do that and all that, when that whole thing is lost, it's suddenly like, oh, that what I was looking for is that, could say love. It's unconditional love. It's not a feeling, but it's the only thing there is. that it never lost. It was never lost, but it's overlaid by all those ideas about how to deal with things and what is that feeling and how can I do it. And when that's not there, it's suddenly like, oh, there's a subtle joy. And you could also say it's unconditional love. It's unconditional because it doesn't matter what it is. It really doesn't matter what it is. Can be a feeling. There's nothing going on looking at it and trying to divide it in right and wrong or awful and nice and all that. It's that feeling. There's a sensation or a feeling like that, pain. And that's it. And then maybe there's something else. Well, it changes, of course. And there's no one looking at it. It's not happening to someone. It's singular, walling, sound. There's no meaning in anything. It's so simple. You can't even imagine because it's too simple in a way. It's so simple. It's only hand. It's the hand, the sound, streets. It's that. They don't have to see it in that way because that's already a kind of looking and trying to deal with it. You can't do this. So there's no way to reach or to giving advice or things like that because it's already like that. There's only that misunderstanding that there's something wrong and there's something missing or not right yet, and I'm looking for no me or things like that. There's already no me. It's already empty. Nothing is real or solid. That's the freedom. The freedom is already, it's complete as it is. And there can be an idea like, no, it isn't, because, and then there's an explaining. That's also what's happening, but it can be frustrating because that's an endless searching and maybe a feeling of not feeling satisfied or complete. So we can talk about this or anything else. Maybe what's happening seems to be in the story. You can talk in a normal way. It's not saying like not saying I or things like that. But it doesn't matter. The way it's being talked about is that what's happening. So the way you speak, it can't be wrong. It's what's happening. It's not you doing that. When there's asking a question or maybe something like that, it's just going in the way that is. So that it can't be wrong. And when you don't know the words very well, then that's what's going on. It doesn't matter. Then we see what's happening with that. So every question is a good question. No, not good. It's just all right. So if you want to say something or maybe ask or share, or you can write or type it on the chat, or just saying nothing, falling asleep can happen. It's all right. Yeah. Mm.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Hi. Hi.
My name is Guido. I just want to thank you, Rose, for
Oh,
giving this opportunity.
okay.
I just want to share some experience and like maybe some feedback or how you see that. Um, I experienced that realizing that there is emptiness in what I strive for, what I want, what is important or not important. At the same time, that doesn't, it might happen that doesn't keep me from doing it. That doesn't keep me from taking things seriously on another level. So there is it's like on two levels. On one level, it's not important. It's just what it is. And on another level, it's very important, maybe. And I take it very seriously, for instance. And that doesn't feel, I don't feel oppressed by it. I don't feel, pulled into it and made unhappy about it if it fails, if a project fails. But still, and that's peculiar, I think. It is important in a way. Or feelings are important, or when people hurt, or I hurt, then it's important. So could you talk a little bit about this simultaneous
Right.
happening, this emptiness and the apparent immediacy and rightness of what I feel or what I think?
Yeah, what comes up is more like there can be a clarity about that there's emptiness. It's very obvious. But this is also energetic in a way. So when that feeling that comes up, a certain feeling or something of some project or things like that, there can be an energy in that it's important for me in a way, because everything is happening to me in that story. When there's a story, there seems to be, and there's me subtly, and it can be subtle, and then it's felt like it's important, or it's serious, or it's real in a way, and that's energetic. So when what I know, what I can say is, then when that me, or that belief that everything is serious and real, isn't that strong anymore, that the importance disappears with that. But it's energetic, so it can come back, and then it's less, and then come back, and
Mm-hmm.
it's less, and it's going in a way that's the Guido way, I could say.
Okay. So
Yeah,
so you mean that might be still like a remnant of clinging, of identification, or
yeah, yeah. And me is not something. It's that there's some. It's a survival system. So
uh,
there's suddenly that's. It's not like I am me or things like that. But
mm,
it can be a
subtle.
long time of the day. It's not there, and then suddenly there's
Mm,
something more important, or seems to be important for me, and then it's suddenly coming back, or stronger, and then it's trying to make it right, or make it in the good way, because me or that Guido, or you could say, it's when that's there, it's like it's about me, so it's trying in a way to feel. It's about feeling good, and it's not what you I hear what you say. It's when
mm,
it's not going in the right way, in that way, for me it's also all right, but in a subtle way, can I hear, then it's more like this a subtle me going on in
okay.
that way. It's yeah,
Mm-hmm. May I ask,
yeah,
like if a friend of yours is in pain,
yeah.
and you respond, I suppose you would help or be empathetic
I
towards
don't
her.
know. I don't know.
You don't know.
Can
Okay,
be, can be,
okay,
can be.
okay.
But
That's
some
just
it
suppose.
depends. It's energetic. So I think it's always like that, but we have something on top of that, like a certain behavior, or how you have to do, or responsibility, or all those layers about how to react. That
Hmm.
seems to make it different. There can be a response that some people, that they have pain, and you don't want to help. I don't know why, but it's suddenly like, oh, I don't know.
Of
And some
course.
people it's like, oh, and then it's very easy, or it's so different. I think everybody knows in a way, but there's so many ideas about how to react when there's something going
Mm,
on.
okay. So you experience it as whatever happens, happens, and you
Mm.
don't feel any clinging towards a me or building up of a me within yourself. So that's the difference. There can be a deepening of the sense of emptiness, and then whatever happens is just what's happening, and
Yeah.
there's no me building up.
Yeah, and it's not coming. So it's not that I'm thinking about it and thinking, oh, don't have to do it, or things like that.
Yeah, Heston, I
There's no
see. Mm.
escape. That idea, or it's also not only in the thoughts, but also in the behaving. It's when there's stress, or when there's s- uh, I don't know how to say that. It's it's how it's going, and there's no escape, and there's nothing going on. How shall I do it, or what this is important or not? I can't see something is
Mm,
more important than something else. How can something be more important than something? Then it's about me. Otherwise, it's just that or that. So what's the difference? Or that feeling or that project or that circumstances. But when there's someone here, then it seems like, oh, that's the focus, like, oh, this is important for me, so then this is more important or better or that. Otherwise, what is the difference? There's no difference between this circumstances or that. There can be pain, yeah, of course, but circumstances are not real. It's not that you think that, oh, it's not real, so I don't care, because that's not how it's going.
mhm,
There can be pain, or there can be putting a hand or arm around someone. I don't know, some just
mm.
normal, like everybody else is going. In that way, that what's happening is not changing, but that thing that who you say that whole dream about how to behave and all that, it's so embodied, so many rules and ideas and beliefs and concepts about how to live your life,
So
when all is lost.
you just let it happen, so to speak.
No, no, that seems like that because we assume that there's someone doing that.
Mm,
That's a choice. That seems
mhm,
like a choice.
mhm.
There's no choice. So that can be
Ah,
very,
okay.
very
Mhm,
raw when somebody is really in pain, maybe, and then not doing anything.
mhm,
I don't know, but just assuming that can happen. There's
mhm,
also no guilt or responsibility.
mhm,
No, that's an idea on top of that, because that can be embodied. That idea, I should do this or not that, and that's lost. So there's nothing, no thoughts or that coming up. So it's there's also no escape from what's going on. It's really reality in the rawest form of that. There's nothing inside or nothing going on about I should or shouldn't. So it's very raw and direct. There's no Rose. Where's Rose? It's not
mhm,
only there's no one inside here, the body is also not real. The body isn't real. We,
mhm,
I never imagined when the first time that just happened for a while that the body wasn't there. I could never imagine that I could even never hear that the body isn't real. So that whole idea about
mhm,
Rose or somebody else is
mhm,
completely out of the window. There's everything is only singular. It's only that. There's no person in pain. There's pain.
mhm, mhm. I see.
That's that's energetic because you can't do that or live try that.
Mhm, mhm,
It's about loss. Yeah.
mhm, mhm. Giving
You
up,
just
mhm, losing.
no,
Yeah.
because you won't. I
Mm.
wouldn't do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, there is no. Yeah.
There's no choice in that. When that
Mhm,
something, I was like a lot of understanding I had about this message, and then suddenly a moment, I don't know what, that all fell away. I didn't like that because that was a hold. That you can that gives a kind of something like I can yeah I understood very well what was going on in life, and now I don't know. So that's completely. It was like oh God, you get used to it, then it's no big deal anymore. But first, and it was, I wouldn't choose that in
Yeah.
that way. Yeah.
Thank
But the
you.
strange thing is, it's complete freedom. But the freedom is completely different as what we normally think
Mm,
about
mm.
freedom, because it has nothing to do with you or me. And that's strange for me, for when there's
Yeah,
some.
I can sense that fear of losing something if I go further, it's
Yeah.
or disappointment. I will not be important anymore to certain people, or I will lose,
Yeah.
and I can relate to
Yeah.
that. Hmm.
Yeah, that's yeah. Well, that's
That's
it.
it.
It's not the easy. It's not easy in a way. It's like, oh my
Mm,
God. Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Hmm. Yeah,
And still your apparent self might be engaged in, some profession or whatever, but it's the
yeah,
um, the reality of it is completely different.
yeah. It's empty. Then it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter how it's going. That doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean there can be like, oh my God, it's going that way. How is that possible? No, all
Mm-hmm.
those all those, yeah, it can
Possible.
be
Yeah.
there.
Mm,
Yeah.
you can. Yeah. Okay.
So no, so I think people around will not always notice that there's
Yes.
some difference.
Yeah. We lose that as well.
Yeah, that's
Like,
in the beginning, the
ta-ta.
first moment that everything was lost. It was like, oh, is that? It was a kind of disappointment because it's so
Yeah.
normal. Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't be a guru then. That's too
No,
bad.
no, it's so no. I
Uh,
thought a little bit like that, and I was thinking, yeah, of course, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh wow,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. Thank you for asking. Yeah. And in the same time, I had always been a teacher in the how do you say in aura reading and all that kind of thing. I did that, and I was always people looked up to me because I maybe that's my life all in a certain way. You could say that. So, but I noticed also to be on top of the teacher or something like that. It's also I didn't want that. It's not what I looked for. There was something. Oh, it's not. No, I want to be. It's something else. It's there was a longing for something like the same or something. I didn't know what it was, but uh, to be on top of other people, it's no, it never was that. So when everything was lost, that was that disappointment for a second, all that. But in the same time, it's like, oh, there's no difference between me or somebody else. So there's an unconditional love for everyone, everything. So that's also when there's talking to someone. It doesn't mean it's always liking someone, but there's a love. And that's what was I longing for. It's a love for everything. It's being in love. Sometimes stronger, sometimes subtle. Yeah. Mm. Ah, and saying it's very normal and I'm touched by this love, this simplicity. Yeah, it's so normal. And we think we should be better. That's the complete misunderstanding, but it's so the normal way it seems to be in the world that there's something wrong and it should be fixed or better or all that. And it's already that how it's going. That I did that phase, that body, that how that's going. That's that's the unconditional love. Life in that form, in that how it's going. So that there is nothing wrong. And it's very normal. It's already that. And that all those ideas about I should and what is there missing and all that. It's a dream with no power at all, but it seems like very important and very being busy with that. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's going nowhere. It's a misunderstanding. What's the misunderstanding is not only in the in the mind. It's seems like feels so strong like that. It's what it is. It's how it's going. How it's the same as here. There's no difference. There's no difference. It's only different in the uniqueness of Rose and the uniqueness of somebody else or the floor or that. Well, that's everything. There's no, I don't have anything more or less, or I don't have anything. Mm. And also, when there's something going on that seems like, oh, there's still me going on. So what? There's nothing wrong with that. We call it me, and in these meetings, it's like, oh, it seems to be the me is the problem or all that. No, that's a new idea because that's the very clever me is thinking. It's making it like, oh, me is something that should be disappearing. Ah, that's very clever because then me can go on because it doesn't want to die. No, there's nothing wrong with thinking I'm here and thinking things are important. Then that's what's going on. So, mm,
So if even if there's, I mean, if there's no wanting to change anything or striving or whatever, there might be something like enjoying to be in enjoying to be or enjoying to be in the company of others or just sharing the moment, so to speak. Like now, I mean, it's like I feel like it's highly enjoyable just to be with people or
mm,
beings, you know, and without any goal. Or I
mm,
mean, isn't
mm.
that some one of the ways that this love expresses itself?
No, but it can also be like not wanting to, thinking like, oh, I'm not going to sit next to her. My God. It's the
Ah,
same.
yeah,
It's also love.
that's
Yeah.
also
That's
okay.
strange because we
Mm,
said love is something nice. Love is
mm,
has nothing to do with nice or
okay.
awful or all that. It's it's everything. So that's also like "Brr," or what? Ah, I don't know. So yeah, of course, it's everything. So we have a divider, and then thinking, yeah, that's love, and that's I don't know, hate, maybe. No, it's an idea.
So it doesn't need anything to express itself. It just is anyway, and
It's
it's so
already what it's already everything.
it's already fulfilled. It doesn't need any
Yeah,
expression, or so to speak.
yeah.
Uh,
And on top of that, what to me is something on top of that, and
mm,
think like, oh, that's not good. I should be, and then, but that's so strong. And then suddenly it's like, oh, it can be I don't know. It can be. It's already everything. Like little children,
mm.
they don't divide. Really, little children. There's no dividing in this. I should do this. Not no. That's on top of that. It's coming. And that's wrong and that's right and all that. When their mind can abstract, then there's can be that looking at yourself awareness, or how can you call it, and then dividing it in like, oh, this is right, this is wrong, or something like that, in a simple way. And it's funny that also it's becoming more clever when we understand that there's no right and wrong. That it's becoming natural or something like that. But
Mm.
that's the same story. There's nothing better or than
Mhm.
anything else. It can't. No, it can't. It's not about better. It's what it is. Ah, that's a question. Is there no location for anything like sensations or feeling? No, no, that's what we normally think, like there's time and distance, and it's close or it's far away or it's inside or outside. There's no inside or outside. The body isn't real, so it's not existing. So there's when there's a feeling, a sensation, it's somewhere in space. There's that sensation. It doesn't is in the body. What we assume everything is in the body because we think it's about me and the body is real and thoughts are mine and all that. So I have a choice with my thoughts to do things. It's a dream. There's no location. There's a feeling somewhere in space or sound. But sound is maybe more clear because a lot of time when there's sound in sound in a building, maybe you don't know where it comes from. So in that sense, the sounds already a bit like, oh, I can't place it somewhere. It's the same with feelings and thoughts. Thoughts are also happening in in space. It's not in your head. No, it's more a belief that it's like that. And when that's lost, it's like, oh, the experience, the experience and the beliefs belong. A lot of times they belong together. When you believe it's in your head, you experience it in your head. And when that belief is not that strong, it's like, oh, I don't know where it is. Is it in the head? It's somewhere in space. Yeah. So then it's obvious that nothing is mine or yours. It's like flies, feelings, flies, floor. And we think we are important, so it's happening in me, and I'm going towards that, and we have contact, relations, and circumstances happen to me, and all that. Me is very important. So that identification, it's not so, it's so can be so strong. So this is very threatening for that identification and for that feeling. I'm someone, and everything is happening to me, and I can deal with it very well, or not that well, or everything's going on. Busy with that whole day, busy with how to deal with things, circumstances, or feelings, or what's going on. And then suddenly somebody saying, you're not there. Yeah, hello, that's my life. That can be a threat. And a fear can come up with that. Yeah. And a longing too, maybe. Yeah. Sometimes there's a thought, feel it by yourself. That's saying that in your thought, it's saying that to another person or something like that. Yeah, there can be that thought, but it doesn't have any meaning. It's assuming that there's someone else and that there's you. Thoughts can be very convincing, but they don't have any meaning. It's just a thought like that, and maybe there's a listening or not. Yeah. And somebody else said, sometimes I would like to be enlightened just for being listened. There's not someone who's enlightened. I'm sorry. Everyone in my family is talking very much, and I would like to have some truth to say to be more important to their eyes. Yeah, it's a story, but these thoughts often happen. That's in the story. That's so strange. There can be circumstances, and the circumstances people don't listen to me. They also or they find themselves very important, and who am I in their eyes? And there can be thinking that's when there's me, there can be issues about being important and not being important, or nobody listens to me. It's not right. There's no justice. There can be a lot of things like that going on. And it's not saying to yourself, because that's what I was thinking. Oh, I'm not important because there's no one, so it doesn't matter. No, that's a new way of dealing with things. So you can't deal with this in a certain way. When that feeling is there, it's not a feeling. It's an belief that it's about being important or not important. It has and that's in the story can be very strong, and it's confirming in the circumstances that it's about importance, and you see it like that, and but it's not about importance at all. There is no one, and there can be circumstances, but circumstances seem to how do you say that? Confirm what's being thought, and how what's going on in your head, something like that. So it seems like everything is the same, in that there's no distance between that what's happening and what's thinking like I want to be important. It's the same story. There's no one, so there's also no one important, but it's also not saying I'm not important. It doesn't matter. That's a new way of dealing with things, because you don't want to feel what can happen. There can be feelings. That's what's happening. It's not about importance. It's a way of dealing with what's going on. And maybe there are feelings. Then those feelings happen. There's no escape here. So being enlightened, what you say, it's not there are no feelings anymore and everything is all right. No, I have to disappoint you. It's everything. So there can be feeling like, and all, of course, there are people are behaving in a way that you think like, oh my god, what are you saying? It's the same. That can happen too, or whatever. Uh, and there can be feelings, and then it's something else. There's nothing taken home, so that situation is not staying, you could say. So there can be that moment, and then something else is going on, and it's lost. It's already something else. There's no escape from feelings like all that, or ah, or all that. I don't know. It can be anything. There's also no importance or no choice in. It's not about awful or nice. That's also lost. And that's what we normally think, like this is awful and this is nice, or all that. It's that feeling, and there's nothing going on about what it is. I don't know what the feeling means or where it comes from. It is, if there's a feeling. It can be for a while, and then the phone goes and it's completely something else, and it's gone. There's no focus. Uh, It's a question. A girlfriend is sometimes chatting. Feel free. Do you say this in normal life? I have a little bit resistance to go to her. It feels a little bit as she is a little bit as a teacher. I don't say to people, feel free. What is that? I don't know. That's making it into something that freedom is a feeling. Freedom, the freedom where I'm talking about is everything. So it doesn't matter what it is. It is not feeling free. It's everything like or tension. It's that's freedom too. In it's life tensioning. So there's freedom is a lot of misunderstanding about freedom. So there's not saying to someone how to behave. No. In the first place, there is no one. But I don't know what's the best way. I don't know. So there can be saying something to someone. So I wouldn't do that, something like that. But it's just empty, and people maybe do or not do. It's just a response on what somebody is saying. But there's nothing going on. This is the best way, or no, I don't know. There's no best way. There's what's happening. That's the best way already. So who am I in that? There's no Rose. There's no Rose. There's only a response. So life is responding. That's the only thing. And it's not with Rose, it's with everyone. So that response is life responding or that. So that's already complete. You can not like it, of course. That can be like, come on. Yeah, so what? And some people, it's funny, it's also energetic. Some people saying things as advices or so, and it's a kind of empty, it's not that strong. And some people are really, it's more like more solid in that advice. So there's something like, come on, what you saying? So it's energetic the way it's being said also. So you can't say what's going on. It's so different in every situation. And also when some people give advice, how can I do that? I don't know. There's no one. So how can I do what people say to me what to do? It can happen or not. Maybe I had an advice for exercises for my physiotherapy, and I was putting them on in the bathroom, like or in the where I washing, and then saying that I think, oh, then I don't forget. I have that little piece of paper. I now remember. It's there, but there's nothing going on about it. There's no exercises. I was really like, yeah, I'm going to do that. And it's not happening. Sometimes suddenly I think, oh, there's an exercise. And then there's doing some moments and then I forget. So what is advice? It's going or it's not going. Mm. After quitting smoking for 10 years, I started again. Yeah, that can happen. It suddenly is there again. Yeah. Then there's smoking. Yeah. There's so many ideas about this should you do and you shouldn't do that and all that. You take care of the body and this is not healthy. I don't know. It's so different for everybody, so I don't know what's the best. There is no best. And that's a threat also for that identity, like I'm here with my body and taking care of myself and in life and all that. And then there's hearing, no, there's no one and the body isn't real. Yeah, that was that construct, and it feels can feel a bit safe that you know what's good, or maybe you know it's not good what you're doing, but you're busy with trying and all that. And then suddenly that's all out of the window. It's like left with nothing. Oh my God. And then is not everything going wrong then? Or there can be a fear coming about that, not wanting to hear, maybe. Or sometimes it's a relaxation also. Depends. It's so different. Yeah. It's another chat. Is there a difference between dreaming or waking, or is that also just a story about dreaming in the night? Maybe in the night, it's very obvious that it didn't happen, and then there's waking up in the day, and it seems like everything is real. No, it's the same. There's nothing happening. There's no before. So then when I dream, oh, I'm happy, I'm not there anymore. But it's the same here. There's nothing happening because that nothing is real and solid. It's an appearance. So it doesn't say there's nothing happening. It's an appearance because seeing tables and pain and sensations and sound. But in the same time, nothing is happening. So no, there's no difference. In the story, there's a lot of things making up because the story isn't a real continuation. It's like in a movie, there are scenes, and in between, the brain can abstract. So then there's filling in the gaps. That's happening during the day too. And then you think there's a continuation. There never was. But that feels like a threat because then you don't exist because it's not your life anymore. It's no big deal when that's all lost. It's like it's very normal and no big deal. But when that's feeling like I'm here and all that, it seems like that loss seems like like oh my God, and I'm not in control anymore. Because that's so strong. That belief can be so embodied and important and all that. It's no big deal. No. This is energetic. You don't have to understand it or listen very well or things like that. It's when that whole that construct is trying to hold it together, and then in these meetings it doesn't work that well because it's not confirmed and not giving answers or direction, so it falls a bit apart. That can go on, and it maybe it's not even noticed. So then maybe there are no questions or some concepts fall away, and then after that something is going on. It's constructing it again. It's how it's going. It's constructing and then it's falling apart. And these meetings is maybe because there's not seen by someone or it's not listened to, so there's falling apart. It can be a relief, not always. It can be also emotions. It can be sadness. Anything can happen.
Hi, Rose.
Hi, hi.
Yeah, I was keeping quiet because exactly there's been so much strong emotions, and the worry that if I open my mouth, everything would burst out,
Yeah.
and break down. And so part of it is like, like a disillusionment, yeah. It's amazing. As soon as you start to speak, even the story that's going around there, it just it's not there. It's so funny. Oh my gosh. So there was a hope of arriving, and getting to a landing place. And here the thoughts go on, that there's still a center, and someone is observing all these raw emotions, but at the same time there's absolutely no control. But it still feels like me, and the emotions are very much at the edge. There's an edge, and the body and all the emotions and sensations are constricted.
They're not. They are not. That's an idea about how it could be or should be. There can be in a little way or stronger, or that's the way it goes. That's complete.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
There's no resistance or restriction. Sorry. When there's an emotion and maybe there's an emotion and it's really a little bit tears and not that strong, then that's complete. It's not restricted. That's an idea of that system, that it could be
It
more
just
and
feels like
overwhelm.
it feels like the storm of emotions is in the limited at the border of the body. It's not out there, in the sky or
But that's the
in the
way it
room.
goes.
Yes,
That's the way it
yeah.
goes. That's complete. It can't be different. Of course
But
not.
that's it. Yeah. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And I think I can't remember if it was on yesterday's Zoom someone mentioned patterns, and so the reasoning here is that there's always been like waves, the highs and the lows, the highs and the lows. So I've had a bout of partying and excitement, and spent all day yesterday working on an orchard, cutting a bramble, and being completely exhausted. And then I dipped down, and there's always been this of getting high, getting exhausted, and then feeling really low. So there seems to be a pattern, like waves going up and down, and tide being low and high, and
but there's an idea. It should be different.
yes,
It should
yes,
be
yes,
more
yeah.
like I know. I'm the same.
but
And I was
but
with Tony, and I was like, but
yeah,
I said, I'm never quiet. I'm longing for that silence and that quiet. And he said to me, "You're just a flame." And I was like, oh yeah, it's like that. It's that characteristics. It's like that. Yeah.
yes, yeah. But I mean, the story is that in childhood that was wrong. I was
Mm,
always
sure.
all these emotions, and
Mm,
it's so you're attacked. It feels like that. There's so much anger.
mm,
At the same time, there's no control. The very emotions and very smiley and high, and then very very low, and you're being attacked by family.
mm.
Um, and then you feel, oh, it's me. Those emotions, that's me. That's wrong. Again, it's so uh,
Mm.
conditioned like that. That it's just speaking about that, and it's just
Yeah, but
speaking about.
when those emotions come and they're more how do you say that, more obvious, that whole system, like it's not right and it should be that it's resistant and all that, can be either way. It should be oppressed or it should be more open, and it's both, it's the same. But that can be also stronger because that everything is more in the open, so also those thoughts can be much stronger. So it's more, yeah, more in the open, but it's complete in itself. So those thoughts doesn't mean they're right, but that's the same. Like there can be emotions coming out, but it's also that's together, you could say. It and it's that too. So, but it doesn't mean that
Yes, yes,
it's
yes,
coming
yes,
and that it's going. And there's sometimes
yeah,
there's listening or not listening, and it doesn't matter. That's the way how it's going. So
yeah. And
those thoughts are part of it, you could say that in a way.
it feels like there was a gradual build-up of resistance of that's it. I'm not listening to this message anymore. I'm just going to go and live my life because
Yeah,
like, what's the
yeah, sure.
point?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
realize there's
sure.
no point. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah, of course it
And
can be like that.
yes, like seeing no point. It's disillusionment. You see there's
Yeah.
no point in
Mm,
anything anymore.
yeah.
But it's still based for the me in a way.
Yeah,
It's
but
like,
that's the
uh,
disappointment. I can
yeah,
hear
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Of course.
yeah,
Because there's suddenly somewhere to go, and that maybe it's not that clear, but then suddenly it's like, yeah, and all those emotions. Yeah, come on. Yeah, I can hear that. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's life and how it's going. It can be here too, those sometimes suddenly there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, so raw. And
Yeah.
they do say when you laugh and you're full of joy, in
Mm,
you are full of joy. When it's joy, it's
mm,
expensive.
mm,
And then there's the contraction of
mm.
wanting to retreat from the world is too much. But isn't that also part of the balance? The body, I can't
Now, it's
take.
not about
uh,
balance, but those thoughts about I want to retreat, it's also a story. There can be sitting on the couch and feeling like watching television all day. Yeah, but that's just what's happening. There's no meaning, there's no reaction on that before because we think, oh, before I was this, that joy, and now I have to pay, like in a way.
yes,
No,
yeah.
no,
Yeah.
it's just different.
It's just that, isn't it?
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
It's just that
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that rawness, like you when you express. Yeah, it's
yeah,
just that
yeah,
raw,
yeah. It's
and
that.
it.
And that
Yeah,
goes
it's
for a
just
while and then,
the judgment that's
mm,
wrong, and
yeah.
the pleasure and the joy is right,
Mm.
and that.
Yeah. Wow, that's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
strong.
yeah.
Oh, it shouldn't be that expressed so much because now I feel so tired. Oh my
Oh
God, that's
no,
so
no,
many
no.
ideas.
Oh gosh, yes, yes.
Oh,
When
oh.
I
Mm,
I wasn't
mm,
sure about going on my friend's land because I didn't have that much energy, and yet I spent, you know, a good 4 hours working, and then like the next day, then I'm thinking, okay, I'll have to stop going to work like that, because I have to pay the next day, you know, because I did too much.
Yeah,
The story
it's
that
endless.
comes
That
up.
story is so convincing. Of course,
Yes,
that's why I call it energetic, because it's so embodied, that it's so
yeah.
convincing. You're so used to that story. It's no, it's what it is. Only that. Yeah. No, yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's strange.
Uh,
It's also
m-
freeing. Like,
yeah.
oh, it's just this.
It's because
Yeah.
I think there's a fear attached with the strong emotions, you know. There's it's frightening, you know. But I guess that's that as well. Yeah. But that's sort of the mind reasoning.
Oh, that's so quick. It's so
Ah,
quick. Yeah. Well,
yes, yeah.
yeah. Well, that's how it's so embodied. And then maybe it's more in the open, and it's suddenly seen like, oh my God, that's so strong. Yeah. Well, that's how it's going. There's nothing wrong with that, but it can be like exhausting. Yeah.
It's in a way, there's been a lot of vibration in a way, life force, and one is almost like, yeah, and the other's at the same time.
Ah.
You know, there's been, oh, what's going on here? It's like, oh,
Yeah, but yeah, sure. Sure it can.
yeah,
Yeah. That's aliveness. Whoa, it can be so like,
aliveness, and you,
oh my
what's
God, what if
this?
you
What's
can't even
this?
grasp it? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
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 Thank you, Rose.
Oh,
And
thank you
thank
for
you
sharing
to
this.
Guido as well. And yes, lovely.
Ah, thanks. Thank you for sharing
Thank
also.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm. Mhm.
I noticed that when listening to you that I get sort of speechless. I turn speechless, and I just noticed that it's like a fear of vanishing if I'm not if I don't have myself heard by others or
Oh,
seen.
sorry. One moment. Wat? Nee, dat komt volgende week. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, I just noticed that when I turned speechless and I listening to you, I thought, well, actually, there's there are not so many reasons to talk. I mean, if I don't have to assert the me, then I noticed that sort of a fear of vanishing, and as if I don't get myself heard and seen and confirmed, I vanish. I
Yeah.
poof,
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
bubble.
Yeah.
Strange, very strange.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what's going on in these meetings. Yeah. It's already like that, but we think we are solid and real. Mm. Yeah. But that's so yes, we're so identified with that idea that I'm here and all that the whole my life, and then suddenly it's like, oh, yeah,
Yeah, there seems to be a force that tries to keep the engine running, and if I don't keep it running, it will collapse. It will,
ah,
just go away, and yeah, it feels like a fear of the void, the nothing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. There's fear. There can be a sensation of fear, and we assume it's about the void, but there's also fear. That I hear the story, but it's also fear. It's a sensation somewhere, and then that's it already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like there is no limit to anything.
No. No, it's not even there's no limit. There's that fear maybe, and then there's a sound from the voice. There's a hand or something. It's that. Not for anyone, but it's going, happening.
It's so nice that nothing is wrong.
Mm. Yeah. Mm. It's also when there's a silence happening, when I'm speaking to you, Guido, then it doesn't mean it's already the answer is finished. The answer is in the silence also, or we're speaking in the silence in that way. So, yeah. Mm.
Hi, Rose.
Hi. Oh,
I,
hey.
I,
Hey.
yeah, I was just thinking about what Guido said
Mm.
about like the fear of vanishing,
Mm.
because it's such a weird feeling actually, because you don't even know what is going to vanish.
Mm.
It's
Mm.
just so it's not clear.
Yeah.
And sometimes with me, like energetically, it feels like the outside coming inside, like everything comes inside, like it's
Mm.
as if it's like coming closer and closer, like I'm gonna vanish, like so.
Yeah, it's one then. Yeah. 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 It's
And
strange
then
how it's working, how it's showing itself. Yeah.
yes, yes. And then there is no escape from anything, like whatever feelings or whatever is happening, reactions. Yeah,
Mm. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It
And
was
also,
already like that, but there
yeah,
was that other thing going on, that me or that construct trying to, yeah, escape, you could say.
the escape and try to be, to stay in control. I think, like all the stuff,
Yeah, of course.
like pain, the whole thing of pain and pleasure, like it's changed so much.
Mm.
Because there was always this chasing the pleasure and wanting the good feelings and wanting to,
Yeah.
and there was so
Mm.
much fear of the pain and so much fear of the pain. But then like the pain comes over and over again, and then it's like, what is pain? What is like
Mm.
running away from pain? What is running away
Ah,
from emotions? It's really like,
yeah. Yeah.
and maybe this is part of the vanishing. Like I cannot control it anymore. So I'm like in a way
Yeah.
vanishing from the
Yeah.
idea that I had, like that I can control anything that is happening. So yeah,
Yeah.
I just wanted to react to what Guido said about the fear of vanishing, because I don't even
Yeah.
know what it is. It's like,
Yeah. It's somewhere, it's that sensation or something. It's,
yeah,
yeah, sure. I
yeah.
can imagine that. Yeah.
And sometimes I even wonder, like, what is the me? What is no me? It's just,
Yeah.
it's not
But you
clear.
can't even grasp it. That's so
Oh,
strong. And then when
oh,
we're talking about it, it's understood in a way. But in the end, what is me? I don't know. There's no one. It's
yeah.
not there, of course. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
But I think that that stuff about pain and pleasure, because it's such a big thing, you know. And sometimes it feels like pain and pleasure at the same time. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Like I could have like a really very like a strong memory and sensation coming from the past, like really, really very strong. And then it would be like, but this is new to me. I never had it before. Like I would have like a very strong negative memory with emotions, and that would be like at the same time or around it or together some kind of I don't know. I can call it like joy. It sounds strange because it's not joy, but it's like it's not
Yeah.
just pain. It's not just negative. It's not just.
Well, that's life. Life is that.
Yeah,
Life is that joy in a subtle way, or
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
stronger. But and then pain is yeah. It's not negative or wrong. Or,
No, no,
no, we
no,
can't say that anymore. Then
no.
yeah.
But
Mm.
I see, or I saw that there was so much fear from
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
pain and so much
Yeah.
fear from every negative emotions. Like I mean, it's negative emotions. So what? I mean, who would try to control that? This is such
Yeah,
a
even the word negative emotion is
yeah. I
already
know, I
saying
know,
it's
I
wrong.
know, I
You
know, I
know,
know.
somewhere. It's so, but we're so grown up with that. So
Yeah.
it seems so true. Yeah. Yeah,
Sometimes you don't
sure.
know if it's like negative or what is it exactly. It's not always
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah, it's an idea that looking at it, and if it's not nice, it's negative. Come on. But it's
Yeah,
so, can be so, the normal way. It's like, yeah.
yeah. I just wonder
Yeah.
if for you, like emotionally, like things really changed for you, like the way you, I don't know, went through
I mean,
emotions.
there's no what I know, what I see is that there's no awful or nice or
Yeah, right.
wrong or negative or positive, all that. Wrong, even awful and nice. I don't.
Yeah,
That doesn't come. So it's that emotion or that feeling. Maybe also with thoughts or sometimes with memories too. Yeah. Well, yeah. There's no escape. It's not trying to change it. It's just not coming. I
yeah,
can't. So I can't. It's not it's not that I don't want that. No, there's nothing going on like I don't want it because it doesn't feel I don't want it. No.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah. I
that
recognize.
feeling. No, it's not going in that way. That was so the normal way, what I remember. But it's not about what I want. It's life isn't about me. No, but it's not what I
Yeah,
want. That was always the awful. I did the thing that it's an awful question. What do you want? What do you want? I didn't like that because that's so like oh, and but it about strong feelings that I don't want that and trying to work it out and all that. Of course, yeah, yeah, and the fear for pain and
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah.
I had it for years. Like I don't want that. I don't want it. For years, I just
Mm,
wanted, like I
mm,
was just so pushing away and denying, and I don't want this to happen to me in life, and I don't want to feel this. It was so strong. It was really strong. I
yeah,
cannot say that everything disappeared, but really a lot disappeared. But it was really, in a way, it was a
yeah.
torture. Because you
Yeah, and
cannot.
the strange thing is those feelings are still going on in the same way, but that on top of it, looking at it and
Yes.
giving it a positive or negative,
Uh,
that's changing.
uh,
That's
uh,
that's what we're talking about. Yeah.
and in a way,
Sometimes sometimes even stronger also the
yes,
feeling.
yes. And it costs a lot of effort, like to try to push it away or don't want it.
Yeah.
It's like I already felt terrible, and on the top of it, there was this resistance. It was like even worse in a way, like
Ah.
trying to push it
Yeah.
away. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, interesting. Nice conversation. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. It's so. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And also what's going on when there's pain, for example, or and there's nothing going on, not wanting it or trying to change it. It's not that harsh anymore.
Yeah.
It's like it is, and that's in a way can be different. In
Yeah.
that sense, it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Hi, Rose.
Hi.
It's not in time. It's not in time. There's no past or future. There's no going anywhere. Anyway, blah 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 blah.
No, but it's like that. Yeah. Suddenly,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it's like that. Yeah. Yeah. Whoa, it's like, how can you tell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's already just this.
Yeah.
It's already just this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like you say, these raw emotions called negative, it's just, even that is like, wow. It might not feel like it when you go through them.
Yeah, then it's different. It also is like, oh God, and then it's like, yeah, it's strong, but yeah, that's it. Yeah. Mhm. Sometimes there's a feeling, it's there, but it's not very. You can sense it, but it's not expressed in a way. Sometimes, and sometimes it's really like, oh, something like that. It can be so different. Yeah. Mm.
Thank you.
And the biggest joy that it doesn't matter. That's
Ah, yeah.
it's terrible to say that. You really sometimes, because sometimes I also feel like horrible and terrible, and then it's like after that, like what even happened? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
And then to
wow.
say it doesn't matter, it sounds really very, very mean, but it's not mean.
Very free it can
Very
be.
free, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
And it's not that nothing matters that you're saying that about things that go on, but it's like it's the freedom in it doesn't matter what's going on. It can be that raw emotion or the table or that
Yeah.
there's no difference in that sense. Yeah. Yeah. It's everything. It's everything. It's that what's apparently is happening. And if you don't see it apparently or things like that, then it's what what is happening, what is seen, that's it. It doesn't matter what it is, it doesn't matter how it is. There's no this is better than that, or this is there can be a lot of ideas. There's so many me is that whole what we make it it's like a story, but me is that whole bunch of feelings and ideas about how to live your life, what's right, what's wrong, how can we feel better about ourselves or about the world, and moving away from pain and awful. And that's also what's happening. It doesn't it there's no meaning in it, and it's going nowhere. It's just thoughts, but they can stick. It can be very sticky, or how do you say that, and taking home. Then that's what's going on. There's no one doing that. It's what's happening. There's nothing wrong with anything. And there can be a feeling, oh, but this is wrong. Then that idea of that thought is going, but it's not wrong to think that. So it's crazy. It's like, oh my God, how is this working out? You don't need to work it out. You don't need to understand. You don't need to have homework and think about it tomorrow or something like that. You can do doesn't it when that arises, then that's arising. But there's no need for anything. That's the joy. It's already complete as it is. Everything is already complete. That way of that emotion that's coming in that way, the table, that the light is complete as it is. Thank you. Thank you. Mm.